Have you ever felt like business and finance have their own secret language? Well, you're not wrong. They do. And that language is accounting. But don't worry, it's not nearly as complicated as it sounds. And today, we're basically going to hand you the keys to unlock it. All right, let's just dive right in. If you've ever looked at a financial report and just felt your eyes glaze over, yeah, you're definitely not alone. So our big goal here is to demystify all of that. We're going to show you that accounting isn't just for number crunchers. It's this really powerful tool for anyone who wants to understand how a business really works. So to get started, we've got to understand the three most basic fundamental building blocks. And I'm serious, everything in the entire world of accounting, from a tiny little coffee shop to some massive global corporation, is built on these three simple ideas. First up, we've got assets. The easiest way to think about these is just all the valuable stuff a business has in its toolkit. You know, this includes the obvious things like cash in the bank, but it also includes physical things like its computers, its buildings, and even the products sitting on the shelves just waiting to be sold. Bottom line, it's what the company owns. Now, on the other side of that coin, you have liabilities. So if assets are what a company owns, liabilities are what it owes. This is all the money it is legally obligated to pay to someone else. You know, things like bank loans, money you owe your suppliers, even credit card debt. And this slide just lays it out perfectly, doesn't it? On the left, you've got all the valuable stuff you own. And on the right, you've got all the claims that other people have on that stuff. It's a really simple but incredibly powerful distinction between what you have and what you owe. So what happens when you put these two concepts together? Well, you get our third core ingredient, net worth. You just take all of your assets, everything you own, and you subtract all of your liabilities, everything you owe. The number that's left over, that's the net worth. By the way, in the business world, you'll hear this called equity all the time, and it basically represents the true underlying value of the company. Okay, now here's where it gets really interesting. Those three ingredients, assets, liabilities, and net worth, they don't just exist on their own. Nope, they fit together perfectly into one simple, super powerful, and completely unbreakable rule that governs the entire universe of accounting. This is it, the fundamental accounting equation. It says that assets are equal to liabilities plus net worth. Everything, and I mean everything, we've talked about comes back to this single, elegant formula. To put it simply, all the stuff a company owns is equal to what it owes to others, plus the value that actually belongs to the owners. The real magic here is that equals sign. It means the two sides of this equation must always, always, always be in balance. No matter what happens, buying something, selling something, borrowing money, the books have to balance. You can almost think of it like the law of financial gravity. It just has to work. Okay, theory is great and all, but let's make this real. Seeing the equation in action is where the light bulb really goes on for most people. So let's take a look at a super simple example to see how this perfect balance stays, well, perfect. Okay, so imagine a brand new bakery opens its doors with $5,000 of the owner's own cash. Right now, its assets are $5,000. It doesn't owe anybody anything yet, so its liabilities are zero. That leaves its net worth at the full $5,000. See how that works? 5,000 equals 0 plus 5,000. A perfect balance right from the start. Right, but you can't have a bakery without an oven. So the owner buys a new one for $1,000. But instead of using their cash, they get a small bank loan to cover it. So the big question is, how does the equation possibly stay in balance after this? Okay, check this out. The bakery's assets went up by $1,000, right? Because it now owns an oven. So the left side of the equation is now $6,000. Well, at the exact same time, its liabilities also went up by $1,000 because now it owes the bank for that loan. The net worth didn't change at all. So what's the new equation? 6,000 equals 1,000 plus 5,000. It's still perfectly balanced. So here's the crucial takeaway. Every single transaction a business makes, every sale, every purchase, every single payment is recorded in a way that keeps this equation in balance. It's like this constant system of checks and balances happening behind the scenes. And why does any of that matter? Because by tracking every little transaction this way, you're not just logging numbers. You are literally building the company's official financial statements. You're creating this clear, structured, and reliable picture of the organization's health, and you're telling its financial story over time. Okay, so you get the basics now, but why should any of this matter to you, especially if your job title doesn't have the word accountant anywhere in it? The answer is really simple. It basically gives you a superpower. This quote really just nails it. Once you understand this basic structure, assets, liabilities, net worth, and that constant balancing act, you can actually start to interpret the numbers. All that financial data stops being this confusing mess and starts becoming a guide that helps you and your organization make way smarter, more informed decisions. So there you have it. You now have the fundamental Rosetta Stone for decoding the financial health of pretty much any organization, from your local pizza place all the way up to the biggest companies in the world. You know the language now. The only question left is, what story are you going to uncover first?